I'd just like to share some scripture verses with you. Something I think is very familiar to all of us is the 23rd Psalm. I think we all are familiar with that. There's only 6 verses there, but they are very profound. Let me start out by just reading those 6 verses, and then we'll continue on and comment on each one of them a little bit to get a little better insight on those. The 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That says so much. David told us so much about his relationship with God there. Let's just break this down a little bit. Verse 1 again says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. David used the word shepherd here to recall the blessings he enjoyed from the Lord. And he goes on to explain them just a little bit more in verse 2, where it says, He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. As a shepherd leads his sheep to fresh grass and feeding, so the Lord leads his people. One who follows the Lord does not lack any spiritual nourishment. Food for the soul is the Word of God. A second blessing that comes from the Lord's leading is spiritual restoration. As a shepherd, he leads his sheep to placid waters for rest and cleansing. Verse 3, He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. The Lord restores and refreshes the soul. Here the spiritual lesson is clear. The Lord provides forgiveness and peace for those who follow him. The third blessing that comes from the Lord's leading is guidance in the right way. In other words, paths of righteousness. A good shepherd knows the right paths for which to bring the sheep home safely. So too the Lord loses none of his sheep, but guides them in the right way. He does so partly because of his reputation, as the word says, for his name's sake. Verse 4, Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The fourth blessing from the Lord's is the Lord's leading in his protection. If one finds himself in the valley of deep darkness or the shadow of death, he need not fear. The Lord is with him and will protect him. The rod and staff are the shepherd's equipment to protect the sheep in such situations. David was comforted by the Lord's presence and protection. Believers are never in situations that the Lord is not aware of. He never leaves or forsakes his people. Verse 5, Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. What was comforting to David was that this was in the presence of his enemies. David was going through a pretty terrific, difficult time here with his enemies surrounding him. Despite impending danger, the Lord spread out a table for him. That is, God provided for him, even in the presence of his enemies. The image of anointing the head with oil, which was refreshing and soothing, harmonizes with the concept of the gracious host welcoming someone into his home. In view of the table and the oil, David knew that his lot in life, or his cup, was abundant blessing before the Lord. And finally, verse 6, Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. David realized that the Lord's great love would go with him everywhere throughout all his life and beyond. God's blessing on his people remain with them no matter what their circumstances may be. So he concluded, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Goodness and mercy having followed me all the days of my life on this earth. When that is ended, I shall remove to a better world, to dwell in the house forever. The last part of that last sentence where David